Hello and welcome to my today's video, which is going to be very personal and also very fundamental for me because it describes one very deep and natural principle of humanity. This is the standard that I set for myself in this video, and it is connected in a way to the song Like Animals of BTS, not directly actually, but all during the experience that I had, that I am going to describe in this video, I've had this song as a background, so I think it's somehow connected and it's somehow contributing to this theme that I will be speaking about. And this theme is about the nature of humans, which is polar and which contains the goodness and the badness, the evilness, and where it originates from. I have been picking up this topic of, shadow integration and the acceptance of your polarities in a lot of other videos. This is one of the most important topics of this blog, honestly. But this time I have the most clarity on this topic that I have ever had. And it is connected to a meditative, spiritual experience that I had not long ago. I sometimes pick up the information like this. I have this deep realization through the meditative experience, through the vision that I have in this meditative experience. And this time it was with my friend, and we did it. It was really nice. We did it in a forest, in the pine tree forest. And the thing that I was shown was more or less the following. I will tell you the experience and then my interpretation of that experience. So the first thing that I sensed was this destructive masculine principle, destructive masculine energy. I have faced it before in different meditations and while reading certain books, while experiencing something in my daily life. I know this energy, the deeply destructive masculine energy, which I have inside of me as well, which we all have inside of us. That's the nature of it. We all have everything inside of us. And I was always interested and could never understand what is the nature of this deeply destructive masculine energy. And that's actually the thing which is very highlighted in today's discussion between sexes, between men and women. Women always say that men are guilty for having it. And that's the case in a way, because this destructive masculine energy, it is causing a lot of issues. It is causing a lot of problems all around the world, all through the time, in every corner of this world and of this reality. But I was interested about where it comes from, because it's impossible that something just is without any reason, without any origin. So in this meditation, I was concentrating on this destructive masculine energy, and I was asking to show me where it comes from, how it appeared in this reality, why it appeared in this reality. And what I was shown was, so in this meditative experience, I saw it as if I'm a man, like the very first man that ever existed in the form of the consciousness that we are in right now. So we know that humans come from animals, right? From the primates. And something at some point changed. We obtained consciousness, we as humans, and we still don't know where it came from, how it developed, this consciousness, how we became able to be conscious of ourselves. So how I saw it in this meditative experience was the following. I was standing in front of a cow. It was I saw a face of a cow which was looking at me. Of course, maybe it wasn't the first animal that was ever encountered by the first man, but this is how I saw it. And I knew that I had to kill this animal. I had to kill this animal because I needed to live. had to kill this animal because I needed to feed my people, because this is how I had to survive. To survive, I needed to kill this animal. And I knew that it was a bad thing, that killing is a bad thing. Animals kill each other without any consciousness, without any understanding that there is anything wrong with killing. For animals, it is the natural order. But for some reason, at some point, for humans, it stopped being like that. And this is where evil appeared. Evil is not just doing something bad. Sometimes people do something bad and you can't call it evil. It's just, something. People did it. Evil is when you do something bad and you know that you are doing the bad thing. Even, the original sin in the Bible, in the Genesis, it is described not as that they deceived God. It's not described as they did something actually bad. It's that they ate from the tree that allowed them to tell the good from the evil. The original sin is not a bad deed. The original sin is judgment over what you have done. This deeply destructive masculine energy comes from this, the need to do the bad thing to survive. And for that, you need certain, energy. And this energy that allows to do this bad thing to survive is anger, the aggression. The original aggression is this. This is like, in this meditative experience, I was shown the very moment when this aggression appeared, why it had to be like that, why it had to exist. And when it appeared, it transmitted through all of the spheres of life. Men started to fight each other, men started to fight women, like to be aggressive towards women, for example, or towards children and so on. And in this meditation as well, I saw how women's aggression, which is not actually an aggression, the masculine destructive principle I call to myself anger, a feminine destructive principle I call to myself madness, because I know them both. I have seen them both. I have seen them both inside of me, honestly. Woman's madness is the response to man's aggressiveness. Actually, the moment when I saw it the most, when I experienced it the clearest, was when the war here in Ukraine began. Men were, they were ready to protect, they were ready to, to fight, they were ready to do something like this. But women were mad. During the war, a few pieces of art appeared which touched me very deeply. One of them was a song by a woman. Another one was a curse by a woman. And if you heard them, you would understand everything about this nature of woman's madness, which appears as a response to the man's aggressiveness. This madness is terrifying. It's much more scary than the man's aggression. But in this, again, coming back to this meditative experience, as I saw it, as I experienced it, that there is like man's aggression, which appeared from this need to kill to survive, for the humanity to survive. And woman's madness as a response to it. And it looked to me like, the masculine and the feminine each holding guns against each other. Like, if you touch me, I will destroy you. If you try to destroy me, I will kill you. And this is very, it kind of makes sense at the same time as it's really hard to embrace, to accept, right? The interesting thing is, when I was preparing this video, I actually thought about mythology. And in mythology, very often, this feminine destructive principle, for example, in the goddesses like Medusa and like Medea and like Lilith and like Kali, they are all like they all appear as the response to some deeds in the mythology, to some deeds of the man, to some destructive deeds of the man or of the masculine. There are also the goddesses of female feminine goddesses of destruction, which are just which do not operate, like which do not destruct because of something that masculine did, but just because they are like that, they exist. I don't remember their names, unfortunately, because they are not so usual for my ear. But it shows this like duality of the feminine, this feminine madness. On the one hand, it appeared it manifests very often as a response to what the man did, when we are speaking about men and women. But generally, this chaos and madness which lies in the base of the creation, it's also feminine. It's a feminine principle of the reality. So when the woman tries to protect herself, for example, or when a woman tries to revenge, she channels this madness which lies in the base of the reality. And this is something that kind of clarified to me this topic of violence and of this situation that we have right now between genders, between sexes. There is, like, obviously, if you have ever been in the social media, you know that something is going on between sexes. And it's very natural, given the tendencies that I have just described. The tendencies that have been developing for thousands of years, from the first moment when the consciousness sparked inside a human. It's very natural, the situation that we have right now. It's like these guns that we are holding against each other. At the same time, there is a very interesting thing. The man and the woman are polarities which form the unity. So the situation is kind of dual and paradoxical, as everything in this reality, that on the one hand, we are pulled to each other to create unity. On the other hand, we hate each other because of this madness and anger that we hold against each other. And this is all that we are experiencing at once. This civilization, it is suppressing both anger and madness. It is suppressing anger through morals, that you have to be a good man, you have to be a good guy. It is suppressing madness, well, through the same mechanism, but more violent, actually, through the witches that have been killed for hundreds of years. These witches, which have been killed, are actually just the channel of this primal madness. And the men who are physically stronger had a chance to destroy them, to kill them for hundreds of years. So this is how civilization is suppressing these very natural, fundamental expressions of men and women. In the song Like Animals by BTS, there is a verse of Hosok where he says, Matthew in the, I don't remember exactly the words, like where he says that with your claws sharp and your fangs out. Now you see the whole land full of animals, none of us are tameable. None of us are tameable. None of us are tameable. The man without his anger is half alive, just like a woman without her madness. But the man with his anger, not conscious, is dangerous, just like a woman with her madness. All these natural forces become useful when they are realized, reflected upon, and not tamed actually, but kind of mastered. It took me very long time to find the connection to this primal feminine madness, because it's scary, honestly, because it feels very uncontrollable, and I still don't think that I, fully mastered it. The same thing about this primal masculine angriness. But what they give you when you find the connection to them, it is incredible. It is, I don't even know how to start to explain it. The anger is the driving force, it's the fuel. It's something that allows you to protect yourself. It's something that allows you to move in the direction that you want to move. It's actually something that is very, very well represented in the work of BTS again. Because all these ciphers is just pure anger, and there is a lot of this theme of killing in it. I remember, by the way, the first video that I have ever made in this channel was about Hagam by Yoongi, and in Hagam, just like in Amygdala, not in Amygdala, just like in Dochita, he kills himself. So this is one of the appliances of the ways to apply this anger, to kill the parts of you which do not serve you, to kill the parts of you which are not real. But also in Hagam, he kills somebody else. His character kills somebody with the chopsticks. And I really couldn't understand this symbolism at all. Like, it was so hard for me. But at that time, I kind of found an explanation, and I said that it is a very masculine, symbol. And I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't honestly fully satisfied with the answer that I gave at that time. This time, I'm ready to give a better answer. Killing is in the nature of a man, but he needs to understand what he wants to kill. He needs to obtain mastery over this energy, over this destructive masculine principle, the dangerous one, the crazy one. At the same time, woman who has the connection to her madness is unstoppable. It's like, it gives complete fearlessness. It gives the connection to the truest, deepest reality of this nature. Because this madness that woman carries inside of her is actually the reflection of the chaos which lies in the base of this reality. The power that the woman has when she is connected to it and she is able to observe it is enormous. But another twist in all of this is that not only men have anger, not only women have madness. We all carry it inside of us. I had the chance to have this experience. I had the chance to connect, to feel this man's destructive anger is because I have it inside of me, not because someone sent me a message, not because someone gave me something. It's because I have it inside of me, in the subtlety of my being, or in my genes, or in the narratives that we tell each other that are passed generation after generation. We all carry all of this inside of us. And that's why it is so hard to comprehend and to accept. We don't want to believe that we have this anger inside of us. We don't want to believe that the war is the reflection of what I have in me. You don't want to believe that the catastrophe, like an earthshake or a tsunami, is the reflection of what you have inside of you, both men and women. It's just more like behaviorally obvious, the anger in men and the madness in women. But we all carry it, we all have it inside of us. The issue in comprehending it, in accepting it, is that we don't want to accept the fact that we carry all of this inside of us. Yesterday was a very crazy day, honestly. We were receiving a lot of photos from Artemis 2, the mission to the moon, to the orbit of the moon. And at the same time, Trump was threatening Iran with nukes. And the Hooligan music video was released. A very interesting day. But the thing is that both of these things are the reflection of each and every one of us. The wars and all these threats would be impossible without the anger that you have inside of you. Artemis 2 would be impossible, and everything about this mission is so fucking beautiful. It would be impossible without the beauty that you have in you, and I have in me, and we all have in us. Humanity is like this. the way to harmonize it, the way to make this life a better place, is not to forgive each other, is to forgive ourselves. The original sin is judgment, telling the good from the evil. But who are we to judge? Who am I to judge myself for the nature of who I am? I didn't choose it. I was born with it. And now I'm slowly crawling through it, like all the last years. It's just me trying to understand what the fuck is happening through the experiences like the one that I described. I don't often have them. I had one about death, one about love, one about the fundamental flaw, and one this, about the original sin. I didn't choose any of this. I didn't choose to be a human, but I am a human. So who am I to judge myself for the nature of who I am, for everything that I carry inside of me? The anger, the madness, the loss, the greed. I didn't choose any of this, I just have it. And I feel like my task is to observe it, to be able to see it, and to be able to decide what to do with it, without judgment, just as a part of me, just as a part of this reality. And I believe that the world will become a better place, not when we force everyone into being good, but when each and every individual, or the critical mass of individuals, will be able to accept the duality in themselves, all the dualities in themselves, including the anger, including the madness, including the lust, including the beauty, including the kindness, including the healing nature, including the creativity, including the love that we all carry, that we all share, that we are all connected by. That's actually why I have beef with Golden being the most listened song from K-pop Demon Hunters. Because Golden is the attempt of bypassing, trying to become all good and light and stuff without digging into the depth and what we consider to be bad, without accepting what we think is evil inside of us. It doesn't work like that, it never will. And it's okay, it shouldn't. Because humans are not like that. Because we are everything at once. Everything that you see in this reality is also inside of you. And the pathway towards harmony is accepting it, being conscious of it, being able to hold it without running away. And I feel like Animals is about that. Take me into your deep, I wanna lay in your world. So what? Your shadows and mess, I'm walking with my undead. That's just what we are. And apparently this is the video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.